and zoning amendments in the town of Stanford, which is really an urgent issue for all of us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tom.
It's good.
All right.
Thank you.
So the motion is to, the motion has been to approve a resolution to establish a comprehensive plan committee for the town of Stanford. And we've had a second?
Yes.
All right, all those in favor?
We need a roll call vote.
A roll call vote.
Mark D'Agostino?
Well, did we end discussion?
A roll call vote.
Did we end discussion?
Yes. I think we did, yes.
Well, I think that I would like to add that if we already have an authorized committee in the motion, if we don't have an authorized committee, then we should have an authorized committee.
That's right, and that's why this resolution to establish an authorized committee is before the town board, because we have not had an authorized committee.
Okay.
And frankly, not having an authorized committee has put all of the work of planning, plus the recent $50,000 that were spent on the planner for the codes committee, into question. And we really have to have an authorized committee in order to go ahead. So, roll call vote.
Mark D'Agostino?
I'll vote to, if we have a committee, there's no need
Yes
to
or no?
establish.
You have to vote yes or no,
Yes or no.
Mark. You can't qualify it. You have to vote yes or no or abstain.
I'll vote yes.
Thomas Dewhurst?
Yes.
Christopher Flynn?
Yes.
Johanna Schaefer?
Yes.
Virginia Stern?
Yes. All right. The next item on the agenda is the resolution for shared services. We spoke about that at the town board workshop. Just for the people who are here, because all towns, and particularly small municipalities, are finding themselves really challenged in terms of expenditures, costs, conserving taxpayer dollars, trying to get more done with less. One of the very big important issues that is coming up is the issue of shared services. While the state is pushing for consolidation sometimes of municipalities, and I think sometimes what the state would like would be for all just to be counties, and to lose our sense of home rule and our identity as towns. That is not what shared services are about. Shared services are about finding ways to work with other towns to get things done that the towns need at less cost to the taxpayer. In Ulster County, a planning firm called Patterns for Progress got a grant and went around and queried every supervisor, every mayor in every municipality in Ulster County. And in that, then they drew up conclusions as to where shared services would save money for each municipality, which ones seemed to be able to share easily with each other. With Ulster County, it was very successful. And in fact, they proceeded to help some towns apply for grants in order to do the consolidations or the sharing of services that they wanted to do. It can result in significant savings. You may have read in the paper recently that there are 4 towns a little bit south of us that are working on the negotiations to share an assessor, with having just a data collector in their town hall, and they share one assessor, and they're saving up to $35,000, some of them, on it. So it's a very important issue to explore. The Dutchess County Supervisors and Mayors Association has proposed that all municipalities in Dutchess County join in supporting this grant application. I will tell you that to apply for a local government efficiency grant, which will fund a study of shared services. The cost, the grant is applied for through Patterns for Progress. The charge for each town is about $100. So it's really a very good deal for every municipality if we all do it together. My opinion is that this is the first step in Stanford's being able to determine which shared services will most benefit our town and will result in the best cost savings to our taxpayers. So I would like to make a motion. We have a resolution that was written by the, you've had it. I don't think I need to read the whole thing. The resolution is that we are, that the town will apply for a grant, that Patterns for Progress will apply for a grant on behalf of the town of Stanford, as it will apply for a grant on behalf of every other municipality. And then we have to sign it in blue ink if we pass it. And I don't know if anybody has a blue pen. I don't think I do.
I do.
And this would be resolution
Number 3.
Resolution number 3, February 11th, 2010.
Just need a second.
So I make a motion that we pass the resolution number 3 in support of a joint applicant with other municipalities to apply for a study, regional collaboration and shared services.
I'll second.
Okay. Any discussion?
Now, when they say shared services, they're, like you were saying, the assessors and everybody in town halls. What are they doing with the highway departments, if anything?
Well, there are many kinds. I mean, there are many ways and arenas that towns can share services. They can share services such as building inspectors and assessors. They can share, at the moment, Stanford shares work, if you will, when town municipalities are oil and stoning the roads. Some of our trucks will go and help one municipality get a job done quickly, and they will send trucks to Stanford for that. That's a sharing of services.
Okay, now, sharing of services, that bit's all right, because I've done that for 13 years, because I work for the highway department.
Mm-hmm.
The only other thing you have to be very, very careful of when you do shared services with the highway department is you don't want to let your equipment go out. In other words, and you don't want to go and purchase a piece of equipment with another town or 2 other towns, because it gets a little tricky as far as maintenance, upkeep, and breakdowns. We don't know who's going to be responsible.
It can
But
be, and
that's a
that's why
very
the
tricky part.
negotiations to set up any sharing of services is done very, very carefully. And often there will be a grant or some kind of funding to really study how to do it the best way. And there are a lot of negotiations between towns when it's done. What this resolution is not to share services of any kind, but to study how services can be shared in municipalities of Dutchess County.
But it's not a binding.
It is
in other
not.
words,
No,
you
it
just come up with
is. It is not binding to do anything in terms of sharing services.
It's a grant for the study.
It's a grant. It gives permission for Patterns of Progress to put a grant application in, which we will share in, and if they are awarded the grant by the state, then they will go around. Patterns for Progress will go around and speak to every municipality and ask what our needs are, what kind of, how do we operate, what our budgets are, and they will come up with ideas, conclusions, suggestions of how best we can share services and with whom. That's all it is. And if the town of Stanford chooses to not